Market recap for Monday the 17th of November 2025. As you can see, no need for three charts for this one. Only one monitor, one chart to just, even though it looked messy, it's a clear and obvious thing, right? I didn't trade it because I'm following my rules, and for now, just to like set myself up good for the week and not be impulsive, blah blah blah, right? I just noticed that my Mondays are impulsive, right? It's not that I can't trade them one day, it's impulsive. And normally it's like lower probability days. So for now, I'm just practicing to avoid it at all costs, basically. Just avoid it. Unless it's like an NFP Monday or something like that. But generally, just avoiding it. Just get the week right because I can trade every day, right? I don't care if I miss a Monday. It also helps tell me what is likely to happen on the next following days. It'll give me information, right? So, and on top of that, the Monday has what do you call it? Orange news, and Tuesday has no news. So I want to see how it reacts, what's gonna happen, blah blah blah. And as you can see, tomorrow is gonna be most likely kind of a consolidation, kind of garbage day, right? And from now I already know what accounts I'm gonna trade with, whatever I'm gonna do for like tomorrow, right? But that doesn't mean I can't read price and tell what's going on. So let's read price. Let's see what's going on, right? Um, let's start with the daily, right? First of all, on the daily, once we closed here on Friday, we created a fair value gap. Don't really care about too much, but my main is like we inverse this gap, right? So this is where my interest is at. If we're gonna close above it today, right? Because today could have been just like, nah, we're going back to range after sweeping this liquidity and we closed above, right? And that already would tell me what's happening on the weekly. We're most likely gonna go up, take this weekly high rather than go take this weekly low. But now I'm more into this week to boom, take out this weekly low, even this, and maybe extend to here, right? So I do not know yet, but for now, I'm still bearish, right? So like it gives me the information for the day. So what are the two main things, right? So we know like these gaps get the quadrants, right? These are the daily PD arrays. 4 hour, it's the same thing, right? What are we doing within the gap, like this area, right? Because remember, this wick is doing the damage. The damage really here is just going to daily PD arrays. So what are we doing on the 4 hour? We're not closing above this fair value gap. We're not closing above this on like the daily volume imbalance, weekly volume imbalance, whatever. Wait, where is the weekly? The weekly's here. This is just this is our old new weekly opening gap basically, right? Got a new weekly opening gap is somewhere here, but I'm pretty sure it's small. But yeah, regardless. Now, no annotation on the chart. Notice, right? We seeing what's going on. Okay, 4 hour, 1 hour. Right here, I'm not seeing anything. So we go back. Boom. Right, we have an inverse gap. Right, we're just at the bottom of it. We're not even visiting the upper half. Right, I don't need to like highlight it. Right, I just need to like mention what can we see. Alright, so 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bearish. 15 minute, what's the 15 minute doing? Right, brought this whole range from high to low, right? Once we market structure shift again, which in this technical term is literally just once we finish our market maker sell model, taking this low, you want to see at the fair value gap at the discount, right? I don't need to even draw the discount. You can tell from this high to this low, discount is around here. Where's the fair value gap at discount? Okay, you can have a mini one here, but this extended, this is the fair value gap discount. You can see it in like a 20-30 minute chart. It's just one gap, right? Right there, do we close above it? No. Okay, so we are bearish in every single time frame that matters, as in high time frame. 15 and then lower, now we're trying to work into entries, but 15 and higher, we're trying to work the bias. Okay, so now if everything is bearish, okay, Now it's time to slot the PD arrays, what happened, blah blah blah, right? So now I'm just gonna put the stuff on to just get a quick understanding for intraday price action. Like the rest is already, like, we already know today's bearish, right? Like if you're waking up at here, we already know today is bearish. But now we need to work intraday, right? Listen, these two are just the daily PD arrays. I need daily, I need 4 hour, I need whatever, right? This is the lower quadrant of the daily fair value gap, which is the one that I'm most like. I care about the inverse more here than this, but this is also the CB here, right? So them two ones are, as you can see, is the lower quadrant. Yes, price kind of like goes above, but it respects it, right? Like you want to check respecting is 5 and 15 minute. Mainly I use the 5, right? And as you can see, bodies do not close above it. And but we have here this little mohawk, right? That means it must respect the 15 minute. Otherwise, it's, yeah, you see, 15 minutes respected. Boom, done. So now I now know this is a high candidate. Why? Because when these go up, by the way, these wicks and these whatever, these are going to like 4 hour, 1 hour PD arrays, by the way. Trust me, if you want to find them, you can find them, right? But this is good enough for me. I don't need to dive deeper to like, what is this price to the tick and why is, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, it'll be some quadrant, it'll be something, right? That high, it's not random. Once I see the respect, right? Once we can find something and see respect, and you can see this is London doing a market structure shift. This is a mini one, right? But this is a complete market structure shift here. Comes back to discount, fair value gap, goes down, right? Model 2022 entry, all low risk sell entry, right? In this market maker sell model, you can see this is a market maker sell model. From this low, that I need to like explain. Alright, let's not get into whatever. It doesn't matter what market, whatever. Right? We just need to understand this is going lower, right? Cool. So now, of course, don't trade London. New York is the option to trade, right? Right now is basically 9:30, and all I say is, what's the liquidity at 9:30, right? These are gaps for intraday price action understanding, right? For example, I'm pretty sure this is a 4 hour. It's just a 4 hour gap that I'm trying to see how price reacts to, and that below that is just the filtered gap that is obvious on the 1 minute, that after losing it, there is no reason for price to like not go lower, right? Like I'd expect it to at least visit there. So I'm watching this gap, but it can still be bullish, right? Or not like fully bullish. Basically, it can't close below that, right? And then when I'm talking closure, this is a 4 hour gap. I don't care about 1 minute, right? What is it doing? Mostly like 5 minutes or like whatever, right? And as you can see, we're closing above the like lower quadrant. If we go even like 15 minute, right? It's the same thing, right? And we're wicking down to, I guess, the order block or just whatever on the 5 minute, but really it's just that gap, right? And again, we're not bullish, right? We're not bullish, but we're bearish. However, this is at this ratio, at this time, at this whatever, right? You need to work out your ratio from buy side to sell side. You can see right now, right, as this is drawn, right? I just need to highlight this. This is launch liquidity, which was previous daily high for Friday, which we take here on London. I just need to just have that up. So once that is taken, right, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 buy side. 1 sell side has been left. Okay. So what does that mean? At this current time, we are bullish until we get our buy side, right? So this type of day, explain it, it need to go to discount of this range right now, which is here, then liquidity, either this or this, right? And then PD array. So now in front of this liquidity, even though it doesn't look like liquidity, why? Because it's not a swing high. The highest high at 7, the initial liquidity is not a swing high. However, it gotta be marked, right? You need to mark it. And then the closest PD array that I can see to it, right? And right there, you can see the closest one is, or the best one, I filtered down, is this daily wick, right? That means best scenario, we're not going to the gap, okay? It's right there. But before we just 1 minute merchanting, if we're looking at the 15 minutes, right? Once we do this rundown, is it efficient or inefficient? It's inefficient. Why? Because we have not been filling the gaps, right? This is okay as a breakaway gap. This whole range, maybe it's fine, but however, we have to offer this fair value gap to the breaker, right? Look how obvious relative equal highs is it into a breaker entry. Cool. And then there's this gap, which is what it looks like to me is a measuring gap, right? For this market maker sell model. Which means we need to go back, fill them, right? When I put my liquidity, that would mean we close the gap. Second liquidity, where do you see it? Perfectly aligning. So that just shit says, yo, model says, like if I'm following it blindly as a bot, yes, there should be a reaction here that should send us lower. However, just as I showed you, everything for that doesn't make any sense, and we're just gonna wait for and see what price does once it gets up there, right? So we hit the discount right there, we hit the liquidity, we hit the PD array. Yes, we have a reaction down here, but it instantly gets cooked. And why? Because that is not where price should turn, right? Because this liquidity ain't really that much of a liquidity. You can say, what the hell is this liquidity? Liquidity is dragged through price. This is regular trading hour PM liquidity, okay? So yes, it's dragged. And what's above that? Okay, I'm looking at the 4 hour, I'm looking at the daily. The closest things is this daily, right? As you can see, upper quadrant. What is going on? All right, upper quadrant of this wick, and on the 4 hour, as you can see, we have our rejection block, the highest candle, highest closing candle in this rejection area, whatever, right, is our rejection block. So put that right there. Okay, so now we have 2 PD arrays, and now I'm just waiting to see reaction. And on top of that, we have the 15-minute gap that we're talking about inside the breaker, whatever, right? So like we know this is the area. If we are short, like we said, everything is bearish. After we create this market maker sell model, of course we're going to go back to discount, which is here, but there's nothing here to hold price to go down. Now we're waiting for a reaction there. As you can see, we go hit the rejection block. Okay, the thing is, what I didn't like about the rejection block is too close to the liquidity. Look at the liquidity, look at the rejection. So now we're watching this on the 15-second, right? Right there, boom. I would like a body above or at the liquidity, right? So that's why this is sus, and I would wait, and that's why I highlighted this gap, right? This is just me replaying the day. I didn't even look what the day done, because when I jumped on the chart, like replayed just to like trade like the day. This is exactly what I did. I'm just showing the steps. Now because this is sus, I'm waiting for at least this gap to be closed under for me to take it, right? If this is going to be the high, I don't like how close it is. And then as you can see, we go make another higher high, right? Make another higher high. Where are the bodies? One body closed above the liquidity. That is what we call, this is unfinished business. Now it's done. And now this is getting high probability. Why? Because now we have this 15-second breaker, right? That's your first entry if you're not sus. And this, now we're going to start using like the sell side of the curve of this mini market maker sell model, right? On the 15-second, and I will sell this, right? This is how I took it on. I'll go like CE of that maybe. Basically, I'm trying to get the opening price of this order block basically on the 15-second. All right, so you get it. Yep. Stop loss just above, let's say just the bottom part of this breaker, right? So just keep it there, right? You can see on the 1 minute, this entry just kind of doesn't make sense. You just enter in like the midpoint of this wick or whatever, right? Or you're entering into this breakup block kind of. It doesn't matter. Enter however you want to enter. As you can see, yes, this time I can enter before this inversion fair value gap, or this gap actually just gets done, right? It's slightly of a risky entry, but this is exactly what the model says, so I'm not going to go against the model, right? And my target is literally this and beyond it, because normally this is the, if this is DLP one, this is the manipulation leg. Technically the TP is this low, right? As like the technical easy low hanging fruit objective is that low, but the model says is just go beyond it, right? Like it will go through that direction throughout the whole day, you'll be fine, right? That's like how it works. Anyway, we'll just take it at a low because I'm going for low hanging fruit objectives, right? And we'll just play that out. So after all that understanding, now only, once you enter the trade, right, we're going to take both liquidities off. How many buy side and sell side do we have? 1 to 1. When you're at that ratio, you're good to go, right? Because there will always be a high of the day and a low of the day, right? And if you understand that we're going bearish, so you understand this is the draw on liquidity. It doesn't have to get to it, but that's the direction the market is going, right? Because look at this now. We have taken the liquidities, right? And now we're going to seek the right side of the market. Entry, enter on whatever, right? This is my way to enter, right? This is how I enter, blah, 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 breaking it down. But it doesn't matter. As long as you understand what the liquidity is, as long as you understand this. And how do you understand this is a fake manipulation one? Because manipulation is so fast, right? Look, gap, 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 gap. Like, just not, like, this is not a way to get on price. You know this is fake, right? One price does this extremely, right? It can do it here, but it had to like offer the breaker. For example, here, or like maybe this mini one, it had to offer the breaker, right? And then maybe this is like, okay, this is a breakaway gap. Then like, you know what I'm saying? But for example, I'm pretty sure Friday. Yeah, Friday's price action. Look, it does the same thing, but there's a lot of reasons why is it this low. However, right there, it offers the breaker, right? It has to offer the breaker. Even this, like if you want to call it breaker, it has to offer, and then it has to like, you know what I'm saying? It can't just go and not give entries, right? Otherwise, it's fake, right? It's making you chase it. Anyway, this, I mean, I don't even like manage it type thing, right? It's just respecting this fair value gap that I'm watching right now. Like right now, because this would be the unicorn, like a proper swing, lowest candle here, right? The low fair value gap, boom. This is a nice entry, and honestly, I would not expect price to go above that breaker from now on, right? 950. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know actually. We'll see. Okay. Okay, it's stolen, so let's look at 1050 right there. So I'm just gonna wait for 1050 because can't lie, this move is done too early. This should be like around 1050, but hey, price wants to do what he wants to do. That's why I don't like Monday. All right, 1050. This inversion, but like this is the main one, right? But now you can see like price is still confirming the bearish action because it goes and close below this, so that's looking an entry and additional entry, and we want to see it from now on respect this once it gets below it. And there we go, it goes below it there and closes. So I would not want price really to go to the upper half, right, of it from now. That way on closing basis. So I'm going to use like this order block as a stop loss, right? So because now there's no reason for price to be stolen because it best macro finishes here, right? 1010. It stalled waiting for the next macro. I mean, it is kind of tight stop loss, but anything after this, then that means we could go higher. And I think I can't remember where my replay. I think the replay just took the stop loss to here or something. But this is how I'd manage it. Right, and you can see 1050 starts once they go below the inversion. Yeah, it's at 11. Right, and the macro ends about there. So I'd now I'd be cautious with the stop loss. Honestly, I wouldn't even want it to visit near the gap, right? I wouldn't want it to visit here because low-key this to me seems like it's filled, right? Off of the buy side here, now off of the sell side. Kind of a breakaway kind of gap. I don't know, but I wouldn't even want it. But it can wick into it, especially that it tried here and then failed. A local just wanted to go straight into the liquidity. Yep, and that's about it. So from now, this market maker sell model kinda not done. I mean, if you can see it on like a 15-second maybe, like the when it reversed here, first stage, second stage, small money reversal. That's the unicorn entry, that fair value gap one. It's a bit scuffed, but it's there. And it's a Monday, right? And honestly, because it's a Monday, I'd expect it to walk towards this, but like it's a Monday, you see what I'm saying? So I remember when I looked later, like it did go down, but I'm not sure how it did. So let me watch it. Okay, so the second that we hit the liquidity, I'm guessing we're gonna come for these relative equal highs and maybe close there, or like I don't know, maybe take this low again. If we take this low again, that's low-key kind of seek it destroy type of behavior, but technically its own itself is a market maker buy model, right, to these highs. So once it create this from like these highs, this is like original consolidation, first stage, second stage, blah blah blah, right? And then just the whole buy side of the curve. So I'm guessing like everything took price down, support price. So this, right? Yep. And this, is that volume imbalance? I can't see it properly, right? There, the same thing here, right? Right there, you can see, but price was very aggressive. It did not even bother. This whole area with its own, you know what I'm saying? Like this mini gap, like if I like don't like close properly, right? You can see it goes over. Yeah, it is a market maker buy model. Regardless, it goes up. I don't think we take the high because, I mean, to me, the model says it shouldn't take the high, but we didn't go up to the daily, so I mean, but it wouldn't make sense. Honestly, if it takes the high, then be even if I wanted PM trade, there's no reason for it to PM trade. Alright, where do we stop? Yeah, it's sluggish, but that looks like it's reversing. Right. It looks like it's reversing after taking the liquidity, right? Technically, there's no gap after this liquidity. So is there something on the 15-second maybe? Or we're just using the inverse? Is this gap? We do overshoot it. See, I hear because we're just falling off like straight whatever, right? Maybe there's something on the 4 hour once we close the 4 hour. Did we close the 4 hour? We closed it here at 10. I don't know. For it to go down again. But do you see? I'm saying a lot of I don't know. It could take the high, it could whatever. It's going for the low. Okay. Now it's going for the low. Yeah, it made relative equal lows. Now, finally, price is reacting normally. See, this is what we should have done. This, once we've taken this liquidity, we should have went up here and not, or like, yeah, and not went above it, basically, right? Because now we invest the gap technically. However, we did not really shoot below. We stayed here a little bit, but there's no closures below. I don't think there would be closures below. I think that's why it didn't do it, right? If we're looking at like 15-minute, yeah, you see, we didn't close below the inverse. We do here close below the lower quadrant. I'm talking about like how do I explain this? How do I explain this in actual like I don't know how to explain this. Because even in like the hourly, we're not even closing in the gap until here. It's because we spent time. This is how I'm trying to explain. Like we spent time in the lower half of it, and we spent time outside here, closing actually outside it. Unlike here, when we did, it's literally like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Here we spending close below, close below, close below, close below. Like on time frames, you can see we are closing below, right? So here I wouldn't want it to, like if I'm in a trade, stop loss above like this high, for example, and I wouldn't even want buddies above the midpoint. But remember, this is a 4-hour gap, right? Like something like a 5-minute, like I say, will generally give you the, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. Okay, you can see we're not closing above midpoint. It's hard to explain this one, but it makes sense once you see it and do it, right? And regardless, on top of that, look at the time that we go into it, 2 minutes before the macro. So now when we're having the macro time, you should go lower, and this is the target really. I mean, we could stop at the gap here before it, but technically that should be the target. I don't see anything that should really stop it. I think we're stopping it there. Did it even stop at the gap? Yeah, it stopped at the gap. But that has to be an SMT. YM. Yep, YM takes the low. For sure takes the low. But yes. Yeah, yes, takes the low. Yeah. See that low, Friday low, taken. Thank you. Friday low, not taken. Yeah, it's just the SMT, right? You see at the SMT, you close it. But that high to that low is what the model says it's gonna do. So you take it and trust it, or you stop being greedy and then you just take it to lowest hanging fruit objective, which is this low, which delivers, I guess, kind of fine, right? But then this is like what you're asking for if you want to hold throughout the day, especially on a Monday, right? Normally this would not happen if it was not Monday. It would go down and come back here and then go down all the liquidity and then retrace throughout the day, right? Or something like that. And this going up wouldn't be this fast, right? It wouldn't be this fast. It would take its time going up. Around 10:50, it would start going down, right? And then maybe down here, and then this same time it will start stalling throughout all the lunch, take some liquidity, and then at like 1:50, this is exactly what it was gonna do. It comes here for the lunch, I mean the PM, and then goes all the way down and then delivers exactly like this. Either comes back to the gap right here, and all takes liquidity, but one of the assets got to take the liquidity, right? ESYM or whatever takes that low. Now it's like, yo, what's going on, right? This is like Monday has delivered this bearish, and now that we understand all of this garbage, let's just remove everything that we don't need from the chart. We don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need this, we don't need that. We don't need this, we don't need that no more. Right, nothing for the internal liquidity, and we don't need this little gap no more, and we don't even need this liquidity no more, because now this is our liquidity that we care about. So this is the only thing, which is a 4-hour inverse, I'm guessing. I'm thinking, yeah, this is the only thing that's gonna tell us what the hell's price is gonna be doing that I care about right now on this current chart. I still don't even open my other chart because again, didn't trade today. Don't care about trading today. But yeah, that's the only thing that we need now. But yeah, one more thing. Opening range gap, but did not check. Yeah, we also opened lower, so we went up and closed it. I guess that makes sense. Nope. I mean, wrong day. Same thing though. Open lower, went up and closed it, and then now we're efficient, taking that liquidity. Be good to go down, right? So yeah, did not miss that ball. Anyway, the fact that this was the lower quadrant, whatever lower quadrant, we are very bearish as what the market is telling me currently. However, tomorrow there might be some sort of kind of weird retracement or like some consolidation type of inside range. I'm not expecting anything big bearish tomorrow. And why is that? Is first thing is the SMT, right? That SMT is gonna probably do something to like go up into range. Also, I'm not expecting the day with no news tomorrow to be like the day, right? So my expectations is either Monday or Wednesday high of the week, right? So if it's Monday high of the week, then this is gonna be the high of the week. And then on Tuesday, we'll just kind of consolidate, maybe take this liquidity, maybe not. I don't know. We're gonna need more price action, okay? And then Wednesday could like go above that liquidity, okay? Above like Tuesday's high, and then start working lower, right? For Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday or something. So it could be like Wednesday high of the week. It could be like this is Monday high of the week. Right? This is what I'm thinking, right? Because yes, it's bearish. It's not that bearish right now. Why? Because of we didn't take this liquidity. I kind of want NQ to be more on the bearish one because NQ is the heavy one. It's not the one that's taking the liquidity. As you can see, ES has been taking the buy side, right? So for ES to come down, whatever. But remember, it will be a setup, right? I can see ES, for example, maybe just saying, you know what, let me switch to market, make a buy model, come for this high, and then fill this little gap. If we want just a whole manipulation day for no reason, right? Just to engineer more liquidity, because look at these, and if they kept these as relative equal lows, how nice would that be? You know what I'm saying? And for NQ, I can't really see what's going on. Maybe all the way up here, right? Could that be OTE, for example, right? Could that be OTE? 7.5479, right? You see, OTE kind of zone. Like we could go all the way back up here for Wednesday to be the high, right? Tuesday's high somewhere. Bump it up, right? We're still within our daily fair value gaps or whatever, right? It's a tricky week, right? And we could just eventually just dump, right? It's a tricky week. We could go up higher. We could just start respecting the wick. We could do this, we could do that. I can't tell you because that's why I waited today, right? Now that tells us we're more bearish than whatever. But tomorrow could be the stall day for Wednesday to start slapping us lower or whatever, right? It doesn't matter what we really do. As long as I can catch a small move, right? This is what, if I'm really trading today, this is what I would have probably even tried to aim to catch. So like just that short and maybe to like somewhere here. I wouldn't even go for the full low, even though I know it's gonna go there like high probability. I'll probably just ended it here because you never know with these Mondays. And I'm gonna treat tomorrow the same, but I'm gonna actually trade it, and I'm probably gonna try like catch something so obvious, and it's just gonna be like 100 handles or something. Don't even. I'm not even trying to make anything tomorrow. Really, it's just like a buffer in case I lose on the main days, which is gonna be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And why is that? Because Wednesday we got the news. It's gonna be a bit skewed though because it's at 2, but like the market is gonna move, so it doesn't really matter. But the main days that are after that is Thursday and Friday. Why the hell do we have an NFP on Thursday? Is that NFP? Non-farm. I'm not sure is that NFP or the other NFP thing, right? Because that's weird having it on a Thursday. On whatever, right? Like this week, volatility is gonna be weird, right? Because now for the first time in like a month and a bit, we're gonna have actual news again back in the market. So that's gonna be interesting. Regardless, main days are technically Thursday, Friday, but I'll try to get something on Wednesday and Tuesday. That's enough for the market recap. Yep, I think I explained everything pretty well. It's actually a pretty easy day. Actually, really tradable. But hey, right now I'm trying to follow my rules. You know, I'm trying to be right. I care about being right more than I'm making anything. Right. I rather be right. And once I train myself to be like right about, not even right. It's like, can I follow what I say? What I said I'm gonna do. And once I do that, once I master that, then I can change the rules to trade Monday because then I know why I wasn't trading Monday and why blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It's not that deep. That's the market recap for Monday. Peace out.